All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Valsa Williams. The headlines. All arrangements in place for tomorrow's polling for Madhya Pradesh and Mizoram Assembly elections. Campaigning gains momentum in Rajasthan and Telangana. Polling begins for fourth phase of Panchayat elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Sunil Arora to be the next Chief Election Commissioner. Bangladesh court begins trial of terrorists in 2016 Dhaka cafe attack case. Inaugural ceremony of Men's Hockey World Cup to be held in Bhubaneswar this evening. And in ICC current ranking, Indian spinner Kuldeep Yadav enters top 5 list of T20 bowlers for first time. All arrangements are in place for tomorrow's assembly elections in Madhya Pradesh and Mizoram. High voltage electioneering for the 230-member Madhya Pradesh Assembly and 40-member Mizoram Assembly elections came to an end last evening. Political parties will now be engaging in door-to-door campaigning today to woo the voters. Star campaigners of BJP, Congress and other parties addressed a series of rallies and roadshows in the last few days to turn the voters in their favour. In Madhya Pradesh, the main contest is between the ruling BJP and opposition Congress. More than 5 crore voters are eligible to decide the fate of 2,899 candidates. As many as 650 companies of Central Security Forces have been deployed for peaceful voting. More from our correspondent.
A total of 3,782 workers have been posted at 65,367 polling centers to conduct assembly elections in Madhya Pradesh, including around 2.5 lakh male and 45,000 female workers. Meanwhile, 3,046 polling booths will be completely run by female workers and 160 PWD booths will be run by Divyang employees. On the other hand, 12,363 micro-observers have also been deployed at the polling booth to ensure free and fair election. The Election Commission has also made arrangement of webcasting and CCTV at the sensitive polling booth. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Mizoram, Congress, BJP, Mizo National Front and the nascent Zoram People's Movement are the main political parties contesting the elections. Chief Electoral Officer Ashish Kundra expressed satisfaction over poll arrangements and said that free, fair and peaceful polls would be conducted. A report.
CEO Mr. Kundra informed that 1,179 polling stations, including 15 special polling stations, have been set up. Special polling stations are for 12,000 Bru voters sheltered in Tripura relief camp. Of the total, 32 polling stations are declared as critical. 40 companies of Central Police and 42 companies State Police will be deployed on polling day. State Police in a press statement said arrangements are ready to connect polling stations through wireless network. Yesterday, 176 polling parties proceeded to polling stations in remote areas. Irene, AIR News, Aizawl.
Meanwhile, electioneering has gained momentum in Rajasthan and Telangana with hardly 10 days left for voting. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address 2 election rallies at Nizamabad and Mehbubnagar in Telangana today. BJP is contesting on 118 seats as nomination papers of its candidate at Jabcherla in Mehbubnagar district were rejected. A total of 1,821 candidates are contesting the assembly elections in Telangana. A report.
The BJP candidates who are fighting assembly elections in Telangana are getting a fresh lease of enthusiasm, with party top leaders focusing on improving their winning chances. BJP President Amit Shah undertook a whirlwind electioneering at 4 places. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will campaign for the 10 candidates who are in the fray from the 2 districts. The BJP top leadership is focusing mainly on those constituencies which were lost with a thin margin during 2014 elections. Meanwhile, a number of central ministers and BJP General Secretaries are also camping in Telangana for electioneering with Suresh Lakshmi, AIR News, Hyderabad.
The People's Alliance, comprising the Congress, TDP, Telangana Jana Samiti and CPI, released its Common Minimum Program in Hyderabad last evening. The alliance has promised to provide 1 lakh jobs within 1 year of the front, forming the government, and a crop loan waiver of up to 2 lakh rupees in one go, besides interest-free loans for farmers. In Rajasthan, poll campaigning is on in full swing. Top leaders of different parties are visiting various constituencies to woo the electorate. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and BJP President Amit Shah will address public rallies in the state today. Congress leaders, including former Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and State Congress President Sachin Pilot, are scheduled to address more than a dozen rallies. In order to keep a close watch on the suspected violation of Model Code of Conduct in assembly elections in the state, C-Vigil app launched by the Election Commission is proving the best way to solve complaints. Complaints received through the app are being addressed immediately. More from our correspondent.
As per Election Department, 1,211 cases regarding violation of Model Code of Conduct have been reported through C-Vigil app in the state so far, out of which 723 complaints were found valid and disposed in stipulated time. Bharatpur has reported the highest number of violations with 273 cases through the app, while Kota reported the second highest number of the cases. However, 339 complaints were rejected, 17 were pending for decision, and 132 other complaints were rejected by the teams of the District Control Room. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
Both Rajasthan and Telangana will go to polls in a single phase on the 7th of next month. Polling for the 4th phase of Panchayat elections in Jammu and Kashmir began this morning. Voting started at 8 a.m. and will end at 2 p.m. Counting will take place immediately after the voting ends. Over 5,400 candidates are in the fray for 339 Sarpanch and 1,749 Panch seats. 99 Sarpanches and 969 Panches have been elected unopposed in this phase. In the areas going to polls in Phase 4, an electorate of over 4.72 lakh will be voting for Sarpanch constituencies, while over 3.32 lakh will be voting for Panch constituencies. In the first 3 phases, above 70% voting was recorded. According to the State Chief Electoral Officer, 571 polling stations in Kashmir Division and 206 in Jammu Division have been categorized as hypersensitive. Adequate security arrangements have been made, including deployment of central armed police forces in the poll-bound areas. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. You can also log on to our website newsonair.nic.in. Sunil Arora will be the new Chief Election Commissioner of India. He succeeds Om Prakash Rawat, who retired on Saturday. Sources said the formal notification will be issued soon. A former bureaucrat, Arora was appointed as Election Commissioner in August last year. A 1980 batch IAS officer of the Rajasthan cadre, Arora has worked in ministries such as Finance, Textiles and the Planning Commission. The 15th Finance Commission will be on a 3-day visit to Nagaland from today. The 11-member team visiting the state for deliberation of distribution of tax proceeds will be headed by the Commission's chairman N.K. Singh. After reaching Kohima, the Commission will hold meetings with the representatives of the rural local bodies, urban local bodies and tribal ho-hos. It will meet with the Chief Minister and state government officials tomorrow. The space agency ISRO will launch its polar satellite launch vehicle PSLV C-43 carrying her modern Earth observation satellite HISIS on Thursday. It will also carry 30 other co-passenger satellites of customers from 8 countries. The launch mission would be carried out from the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota. More from our correspondent.
This time the PSLV vehicle will travel in its lightest version called standalone configuration, as the total payload weight is less. The 380 kg Earth observation satellite HISIS has a mission life of 5 years. It can observe the Earth's surface in multiple frequencies like visible, near-infrared and short-wave infrared. It will be placed in a 636-kilometer polar sun-synchronous orbit. Its co-passengers include a micro and 29 nano-satellites that will be injected into a 504-kilometer orbit. 23 of the customer payloads are from the US and one each from Australia, Canada, Colombia, Finland, Malaysia, the Netherlands and Spain. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
The International Film Festival of India, IFFI, in Goa has attracted a large number of youths this year. According to data released by IFFI, almost 50% of over 7,800 delegates belong to the age group of 18 to 35 years. A report.
While those between 36 and 50 years are 27%, 18% belong to the age group of 51 to 65 years. Those above 66 years are only 6%. Among the delegates, 18% are students, 16% film professionals, and 66% cine enthusiasts. More than 220 films from 67 countries, the highest 16% are English, 13% Hindi. The 9-day event will come to an end tomorrow. Ashok Shukla, AR News, Goa.
In Bangladesh, the trial of 8 terrorists who perpetrated the country's worst terror attack on a popular cafe in Dhaka in 2016 began yesterday. 22 people, including a 19-year-old Indian girl, were killed and 50 others injured in the attack. Indian national Tarishi Jain was among 17 foreigners who were brutally murdered by terrorists inside the restaurant in Dhaka's high-security diplomatic zone on the night of 1st July 2016 before commandos launched an assault, killing 6 attackers and capturing 1 alive. The opening ceremony of the 14th Men's Hockey World Cup will be held at the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar this evening. Around 1,100 artists, star actors Shah Rukh Khan and Madhuri Dixit, and music composer A.R. Rahman are slated to perform at the ceremony. India will face South Africa in their opening game at 7 p.m. tomorrow. In cricket, Indian wrist spinner Kuldeep Yadav has entered the top 5 of the ICC 2020 rankings for bowlers for the first time. Yadav, who bagged 4 wickets in the recently concluded T20 series against Australia, jumped a whopping 20 places to claim the 3rd position in the latest rankings released yesterday. In the team rankings, Pakistan continues to top the table, followed by India and England. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Anuja Kumar.
Thank you, Valsa. The 10th anniversary of the 26/11 attacks on Mumbai and the Kartarpur corridor dominate headlines this morning. On 26/11 anniversary, India tells Pakistan to give up double standards is the Times of India headline. United States offer $5 million reward for information on 26/11 attackers, leads the Statesman. On anniversary of 26/11, Modi takes patriotism jibe at Congress, writes the Asian Age. Decade after 26/11, coast not impregnable yet, states the Pioneer. Kartarpur corridor, Venkaiah talks peace, Amrinder warns Pak Army, reports the Indian Express. Congress versus Akalis, CM versus Pak at Kartarpur event, notes the Hindustan Times. Prosecute officials failing to punish polluters, says Supreme Court, writes the Times of India. The Pioneer reports CBI gets sanctioned to prosecute P. Chidambaram in Aircel Maxis case. The Tribune writes, move afoot to scan assets of legislators with a permanent institutional mechanism to monitor their assets and income in an effort to clean up corrupt practices in public life. The Hindu Business Line explains why fuel will continue to be costly in India, with both the centre and states seeming to be in no hurry to pass on the benefits of softening global oil prices. Bernardo Bertolucci, director of Last Tango in Paris, dies at 77, notes the Financial Express in a front-page item captioned Last Goodbye. And finally, school bags to get lighter homework from Class 3, writes the Asian Age. Go easy on kids for school bags homework, Centre tells states, reports the DNA on new guidelines from the Centre. And with that, it's back to you, Valsa.
Thank you, Anuja. Now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. All arrangements in place for tomorrow's polling for Madhya Pradesh and Mizoram Assembly elections. Campaigning gains momentum in Rajasthan and Telangana. Polling begins for 4th phase of Panchayat elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Sunil Arora to be the next Chief Election Commissioner. Bangladesh court begins trial of terrorists in 2016 Dhaka cafe attack case. Inaugural ceremony of Men's Hockey World Cup to be held in Bhubaneswar this evening. And in ICC current ranking, Indian spinner Kuldeep Yadav enters top 5 list of T20 bowlers for first time. With that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.